Helldivers 2 was a gigantic game just earlier this year, but now it has lost over 90% of its player base. So, what went wrong? To understand what went wrong, I think we should also dive into what made Helldivers such a highly successful game in the first place. And I think one of the key factors to the game's success is the co-op system. It seems like a lot of games that uses this system gets a lot of attention, such like Lethal Company and Chained Together. These games wouldn't become as big as they are if you couldn't play with your friends. And I definitely think that this helped Helldivers out. Like, I've had so much fun just pushing and bumping around my friends. Another factor is the visuals of the game. I don't know about you, but when I first saw the game, I just wanted to try it out because the graphics made it look so cool, man. And we cannot forget about the gameplay, which is also of course a big reason why the game got as big as it did. It felt so new and fresh when the game dropped, and there's still not really anything like it as of right now. The stratagem system is amazing whenever you call down like literally anything, and the satisfying feeling you get when you use the codes without looking. I'll tell you, that feels amazing. This game can give you some of the most intense moments, like when your squad is out of reinforcements and just has to run from all the chaos, and then you all somehow mix it out. Like, that shit feels crazy, bro. I also really like the fact the player base has to work together in this game to keep the other factions away. And depending on how good we're doing, the factions get pushed back or forward. I really like this concept, and I'm sure it has been done before, but I haven't seen it elsewhere. But Helldivers also got another thing going for it, and that's its simplicity. The way they designed the game made it really easy to get into. You just get sent down to a planet and then shoot things, clear the mission and get out. And I think that really contributed to the game's overall success, since a lot of people don't want to sit and stress out about a game coming home from work or school. But I also do believe that this simplicity ultimately helped leading Helldivers 2 to its downfall. Let me explain. Helldivers 2's downfall is significant, but somewhat expected, especially after reaching such a high peak. A drop-off was bound to happen, but I myself didn't expect it to be as big as it was. I mean, the game has lost over 90% of its player base since the peak. So, what happened? There's a few different explanations for this, but let's continue with the game's simplicity. See, I just said that this was a good thing, but on the flip side, it also makes the game feel somewhat stale after playing it for some time. The missions started quickly to feel way too similar and repetitive over time, and there isn't much reason for grinding out the game. When you clear missions and collect the samples, you will slowly be able to get more gear, like weapons and customization, and of course the stratagems. But this just wasn't enough to keep the player base motivated to continue playing the game. And this leads me to the next issue, and that's the lack of new content. When I used to play the game, I quickly unlocked all the stratagems at level 25, and a lot of other players did this as well. And from what I see from the Helldivers 2's community, new content is still very much an issue. I remember back in the game's peak, there used to be a lot of hype surrounding the third faction update, and there was a lot of speculations of what kind of beings these would be, and that stuff was super exciting, but they have still not added another faction. But I also get that updates like that takes a lot of time. However, smaller updates are also lacking. I haven't played the game since April, and with all that time, I would assume there would be a lot of new things to unlock. But no, at level 29 I've still unlocked everything. And the only thing that I can see that they have added is another exosuit. Oh, and how could I forget the new premium warbands? And let's not forget about all the Sony drama that happened, because Sony decided to make it so that you would need a PSN account to play Helldivers 2. And I'll be honest, at first when I heard this, I didn't think much of it, but that's because I didn't look into it. But by doing this, Sony blocked out people from 121 different countries to play the game. This has to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. This also meant even if you bought the game, it was still unplayable. Sony did however change it back though. It looks like you still can't buy the game in those 121 countries, which obviously kills a lot of potential players. This definitely damaged the game. Anyway, this is just a few reasons why I think the game rapidly lost its player base. And it's honestly a shame, since it has so much potential, and in some ways still do. I would like to believe that someday they will return back with a lot of new content and no country-based restrictions. But until then, I don't see this game going anywhere but further down.